Nail Soup Media. We specialize in websites, web communities, and internet products.
This particular video is an update to videos from the past few years, and it talks about how should I be working on the internet in relation to, Trulia, Zillow, homes.com, your website, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube. Man, I don't know why I can't write when I'm doing these videos. Okay, so basically, I'm going to go over this as much as possible, so we're good. So you're here, and the thing that I would do is, on a regular basis, take photos of the area, photos of the houses and condos that you look at, and specifically views, kitchens, bathrooms, bedrooms, man caves, media centers, all the different cool things. Every time that you go somewhere, like you go on a caravan or you go around there, that's what you want to do. You want to get photos of the area, of houses, pets, and then kids. You want to have like kids stuff, like things that kids do. Events, businesses that cater to kids events, and then businesses, local businesses. You want to take photos, right? Video, same thing, but make it as short as possible. Initially, I'd like you to do 30-second to 60-second videos. You don't even have to say anything. All you're doing is you're showing a dog park. You're showing a cafe. You're showing just the lifestyle there. Okay, that's that. Then the next thing you want to do is get social media, what I call social media mining. Social media mining. And what that means is you go to Facebook and you like a bunch of businesses and causes related to your area. You can also do a search for businesses in your area and like a boatload of those Facebook pages. And when you do, it also, like let's say you like this page, all of a sudden it'll have like a suggestion of a bunch of others, right? So you go through those, and the ones that apply, you want to like them all. Because what you're doing is you're prepping yourself for content, to get content. The other thing you want to do is change your browser default page to yahoo.com. I have a video about this that shows that Yahoo has 50 to 100 articles that a lot of it has to do with cities and real estate and finance relating to real estate, and a lot of great things that you can pull from and share on these other things. Okay, so now, and this is just a general thing. So now let's talk about these individual sites. Trulia, Zillow, and Homes, you don't pay for any advertising. Okay, what you do is you have to get your picture in. You got to get your profile done, and you want to have it filled out as much as possible. On Zillow, you want to have a YouTube video that it's not just any video, but you want to have it to where preferably it has some of your clients talking about you, and then you talking about things. It doesn't have to be you in front of the camera. You could take audio and overlay it on top of the video, but you want a feel good video. You also want to put in the listings. Make sure that your listings are current on each site because of some changes that are happening. You're going to find that you're going to have to maintain what listings are on what sites because of the shakeup that's going to happen here April 7th. So you want to make sure that your continuity on all the listing sites are the same. You also want to make sure that your sold listings are put into all the websites because that, along with a few other things, breeds confidence to people that are anonymously interviewing you for the job. They're going to go all over the internet and they're going to look at how you come across and how much branding, how much exposure you have. So you want to make sure that your current listings and your sold listings are put in. You want to make sure that your coverage area, zips, cities, counties are put in, that you cover those areas. And you want to answer questions in the forums for each site. You want to answer local, like to the different areas that you're in, and then statewide if the questions aren't good enough. And if the questions, if there's not enough good questions, then you send them to us. Send questions that you'd like to answer to us, and we will put them on the sites, on all the sites that's been approved. There's nothing unethical about it because all the other people answer it, and that's the thing. Okay, and we're going to get back to this part soon. On your website, you want your website to have the Jetpack Publicize plugin working. So when you post stuff on your website, it will go to Facebook and Twitter, and then a couple other places that will automatically post for you. You have Tumblr. There's a bunch of things, but I put this list here because we need to take baby steps and make it digestible. We don't want you overwhelmed to where you don't do anything because you're just feeling there's so much to do. But this Jetpack will make it to where it automatically publishes to other, like your Google Plus, and a couple other sites, which will help you with other videos on how to set up. Okay, so you want your Facebook business page set up. You want to have enough viewers and have a custom URL that goes after your business. Not necessarily your name. You can have your name in it, but you want to have the particular area that you're going after to get search engine ranking, because we're going to tie this Facebook to your website, to your Twitter. Let's go this way, to your Twitter, and to your YouTube, and to your G+. So that way, when Google is indexing, they're going to see the clusters of content and relate it to the main keywords of your business. Okay, you need to set up a Twitter account, Pinterest, Instagram. YouTube is really important. You need to have that talking to your G+. You need to have it talking to your Facebook and Twitter, but you also need to have all this stuff tied in a way that's a little more advanced than YouTube, and we'll show you in a video how to do that. Which that means is that you should be able to have managers that you can assign to your YouTube sphere, your Google sphere, that don't have access to your account but can add content for you. The additional thing to this is that your business, Google Business designation, needs to be registered. You get a pin with a postcard in the mail and all that stuff. But with the business side and YouTube, your website, all these things connected, when you post on all these different areas, it is indexed by Google differently than if you just have all these things separate. It's sort of like a recipe. If you combine the ingredients a certain way, you'll get a different result. That's what we have a video on this as well. And in the next few days, as you watch this video, you're going to see little buttons pop up and say, click here to learn more about this. And then you'll go and it'll be just one video just about this. Okay, so now, I'm going a little fast just because I tend to speak forever and it's ridiculous. So now all this is done, right? So you say, okay, how do I handle Trulia, Zillow, and Homes forums, right? So we've got, let's just, Trulia, Zillow, and Homes.com, otherwise known as ZTH. Okay, so here's how you do it. What you do is you look for questions in your market. First of all, what you want, I guess I should say this: you should map out your business. What's the price ranges? Price ranges. Types of property. And then particular areas, the geo-targeting. Okay. And then you want to do like the demographic, or the psychographic. So like recently I've gotten some clients that are in areas that have, high-end condos, and, like a pet-friendly theme would be good to develop questions about and have answers there. Okay, so that takes another type of element to map out your business. So once you have the price ranges and the types of property and the geo targets, and then the geo target is basically cities, sub areas, subdivisions, all that stuff. Okay, so you get that all mapped out, put it in a piece of paper. And that's your target. Those are the things that you want to look. So then you look for questions that showcase a few things. That the recipe behind getting business for free on these websites is offering a solution. Meaning that when someone is talking about, we're thinking about buying this type of property, and we're these type of people, and we're here and here, that out of all the other answers that people have given, your answer adds an element that even the people that answered before go, oh yeah, that kind of thing. You try to do that. You don't answer questions about, well, what's the price of the license? What's the licensing fee, for this? Or I can't get my property to list on Zillow, things like that. If it's an agent asking you a question about a technical item, you drop that. If the client is like, hey, I'm trying to list my property for sale, and I can't get it to list on Zillow, then you may want to answer and say, good luck, your area, and this is how you do it. You show a solution, and then you also show your local authority. I'm bouncing around a little bit, so bear with me. I'll try and put it all together in a minute. So let's say someone asks you, like this person saying, I'm trying to list my property, and you find out that they're in Cypress Estates, and you go, hey, your property's going to do well. Cypress Estates, people like it because it has this, and this. That's one way to show your local authority. When people ask questions like, okay, we're relocating to here, why would I buy? Our company is based in, in this part of the area, and we're thinking about this area totally west and this area totally east of that area. Why would what's the drawbacks between each? That you then show, you think in terms of them and in terms in general. You show your command of your knowledge of both those areas. Well, this is a coastal area, and your homes are a little closer together, and you have this, and this. Your commutes to downtown are this, but to your business, you should be to the business that your company you work for should be okay. This is more inland. This is more of a farm. It used to be a farm town. Now it's up to date. But your property, depending upon the sub area of this, you might have a larger lot, or it could be like the coast where it's everyone's pushed together. So depending upon what part of this, you're going to have this, and this. That you're offering a solution, and you're showing that you're really thinking when answering questions. So many people on Zillow and Trulia and homes, when they because I've never put this out. I've always said that you can do it. So what happens is that other gurus who've read our stuff or watched our gloss over videos think they know what's up, and they just tell their people answer a bunch of questions. It has nothing to do with how many questions you answer. It's how well you show your ability to solve problems or offer a solution that others haven't, to show your local authority, meaning that you really know the areas that you're discussing, and you're offering solutions based upon that local authority. The next thing is being an ambassador to the internet. And what I mean by this is that you are not like you look at I've used Brad Pitt a lot, but he doesn't have to worry about getting a job in film, getting a movie job because of the thing. And so he presents himself a certain way. Pretend that you're someone that sold over $100 million of inventory last year. If you did that, would you be running around telling people, use me, try me, email me, call me, whatever? You're not going to do that. What you're going to do is be the better person in the conversation. So you've got this person asking questions, and you've got this person and this person. They've all, answered questions, and then here's you. Okay, you see everyone else's answers, right? So you can come up with a better solution. And in that solution, you can sprinkle it with some local authority, but you close it with a discussion that doesn't beg. You're not begging for business. And you're not desperate. And so by doing that, so an answer would be, hi, Mr. or Mrs. person. Here's a solution. And a lot of great answers here. Here's my take on it, giving a solution perspective that these didn't quite cover, or they didn't go in detail enough that when you do that, it adds value to the conversation. In it, if you can, put in the local authority aspect of it, and then at the end you close. Basically, this question was about a horse property, and what you really should do is look for property that has a certain type of slope in it, because that's what horses need, and it's good for your blah 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 blah. A lot of great answers here. This is what we recommend, and frankly, we know this because we're horse owners. We have a ranch, and we do a lot of this, and that's what you should do. You should find an agent that is not only a real estate agent, but a horse property agent, someone that has an experience. And of course, we're all here to help you. Good luck. Ask anything else that you'd like to ask. Now, you didn't say, "Hey, I'm the only horse person around. I know horses. No, I know this guy and this girl. They don't know anything about horses. They don't even have horses. I'm the horse person. You should contact me." Not going to work. You gotta take it away. You gotta say, because what this person and these people are going, when they read your answer and covering the solution the way you did, showing your local authority that you're a horse owner and you own a farm and and then you're not telling them to contact you right away, they're all going to go, "Well, you told me that I need to find a horse person. You're a horse person." And then this person that asked the question is going to start looking at you, and they're going to interview you. And that's where having all these things, all these accounts set up and done right, you're going to be ranking on the first page of Google for a host of things. In the old days, when this is just as of recently, SEO people, all they cared about was Google and here's your site. It's on page 1. Okay, I'm done. I did my job. That's no longer the case. You have to have branding optimization. And that means it's no different than you see the movie stars that, they're on talk shows, they're in commercials, they're in, short videos or short movies, independent movies, and then they get that big part because of all the supporting stuff. It's the same thing that happens when you're doing good on all these platforms and you're answering questions right, that they then start doing research and they see you on Trulia and Zillow and Yelp and Facebook and Twitter. Okay? And then on top of it, it's not just that. It's your participation, but reviews from clients and likes and follows and comments. And that's how it all gets put together. So now you say, okay, great. You still haven't gotten to the part where how do I handle the questions on Trulia's Own Homes? Well, you did ZTH. Okay. You did your map of the types of clients that you want, the types of properties that you're going to sell, the price points, the zip codes, the cities, the sub areas, the subdivisions, and for some of you, some niche things. Like if you're going after luxury property, you should go after custom home builders. If like for this one client that we have, they do horse property. Do you have 55 plus? Are you into that? Are you into like what? Get your niches all mapped out, but put it on paper, and that way when you go to answer these questions, you make sure that you cover your map. So ZTH equals map plus solution, local authority, and ambassador. That's equals success. That's what you need to do in order to get it. Now, you're not going to answer a question and then all of a sudden get a $50 million deal. Okay, you have to target it, and you have to do a bunch of them. The other thing is that some people have come back and said, hey, you know what? We tried this, and all we're getting are $100,000 property requests. Well, that's an indication that you're not using the map. If you want your pricing to be, you want your questions answered to be in the map price range. So if your price range is 300,000, and then you have like 1.5, you want to have like a bell curve. You want to have a couple questions at 300, and then a lot up here, and then some on the other end. You want it to where, let's say, for 300 that your questions are at the 700 to 1.2 range more than the 300. Because what happened, a lot of the people that, long story short, it's just a thing to try. So if you're getting leads that are under your price range, out of your area, and not really fruitful, then you want to adjust this recipe, this algorithm, and make sure that you're doing it. Now, if you don't have good questions, go back to the last few years of your career and get like the questions that people people asked you. So the last few years, you want to go back on all the transactions, review them, and what questions did they ask? How did you solve their problems? Look at those, and then and look at it not only from the client side, but the inventory side, finance side, closing, and after sale. Think about all the elements of that transaction, and what things came up that you can turn into a question, and what solutions. I can't write. And then what solutions did you offer that helped them? And that is a good source. Now the other thing too is when you get a question and you answer it and you're like, I'm just not sure if I should, if that's good enough, or I'd like to get critiqued. Whether you're a client of ours or not, you can go to nail soup media@gmail.com trulia.com and submit your question and answer, and we'll critique it for you. Because here's the reason why we'll do this, is that if you generate business and you're like, wow, this is awesome, then you'll come buy our stuff. Because this is just one element of a ton of elements that we use to get business. So that's really it. We went through a bunch of stuff, and I'll make this video better as things progress. We talked about how to map your attack to answering questions on forums. Get a map for your business. Think of niches, and then make sure that when you're answering, no matter where you are, whether you're answering on your website or in forums or things like that, that you cover these areas. You provide a solution. Oh, one more thing. Let's say a question. This is a good one. Let's say there's a question that is, and I always love it when people go, what? Let's say there's a question that is 3 years old. Answer it. Why? Because you don't answer every question, but you answer the questions that make sense, that today's market, that question doesn't have a fresh update on. And so because these questions, Zillow, Trulia, and Homes, they have 20 million visitors each that come to their site a month, and they look at the whole department store. They don't just go into one section. So the question about the market that has now changed, and there's an opportunity for people, if they knew, if you answer that question, it's a gold mine, because every person in this thing, let me get this. Sorry. All these people have laid down their cards. It's like playing poker with everyone else having their cards down and you getting to pull from a fresh deck. And that's the advantage. So don't look at the questions as you're talking to that person that's asking it. You're actually answering so that all the people that see it, that through the years see it and see that you put an updated answer. And you may even want to put, hey, if anyone's curious about another update, put in a comment into this section and we'll be glad to give you an update, something like that. But that's why you should always answer the question regardless of the date that it was asked, because you're not going to be talking to the person that asked it. You're going to be talking to the people that are reviewing it, and they also look at the questions that you've answered. So that as they're interviewing you, when they look at you on these sites, they're looking at your profile, and your profile consists of all these things: reviews and previous sales, and your cute little video of everyone saying how great you are. But then they also can go to the advice button and look at all the questions that you've answered. So let's say they got attracted to you because of one, and they start doing the research, and then they see another one, and they're like, wow, that's a great answer. And that's a great answer. That's a great answer. And then boom, that intrinsic value gets them to calling you already sold on you. Okay, so I hope that helps. And if you have any questions, just contact us.